Okay, so it is 10, so let's start our meeting. The meeting is being recorded, so those who will join later will be able to see the beginning. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for joining us today for the training for district leaders. This is our second meeting. We had the first meeting in Wrocław after our district conference. We had spent half of the day together. Today will be a very short and dynamic meeting. We're planning to spend 2 hours together. I wrote about 2.5 hours, but this is just in case we have interesting question and answer session in the end. So hopefully in 2 hours we will finish our presentations. So how our meeting will go is we will share our short presentations up to 10 minutes on the most important topics for each area director. After that, we will have discussions in the chat, so not to have long discussions during the presentations. We will ask our questions in the chat, and we will have additional discussion. Then we can copy what if we have some interesting inputs in the chat. We can also share this with everyone. So if we have any questions on the way, let's ask them in the chat or leave them for later discussions. And now we will start with our first presentation of sharing our vision by our district director, Gabriela.
Thank you, Elena, and hello and good morning, everybody. I'm happy that my internet is holding on, and I hope that it will be working as long as is needed. I'm really happy that we spare some time dedicated to vacation, family, or other hobbies to meet today together. I'm traveling, and I also put everything aside because I would like to spend with you some time and to try to make your beginning of the term easier. No matter why we joined this Toastmaster program, we all had different reasons. No matter why we enroll in these roles, because again, we all have different reasons. I think that what is important for all of us is that at the end of the term, we will realize that we had spent our time wisely, that we've learned something new, that we tried a new experience, we largen our expertise in leadership, in networking, in making finding new ways of working and so on. And this is why I think it's very important for us to think from the very beginning how we would like to spend this year and find ways to make it better. We had a really great previous year, and if we have a review, like in every project, it's good to start with what we know and to learn from the past. I think that the previous term and our amazing members, they had an impressive success. We are President Distinguished with really good achievements in all the area. And because we all would like to do a little bit better than in the past. This is our standard level that it's good to make it, it's good to have it crossed, and it's good to bring our contribution and have even better achievements this term. Because this is why we are here, to learn from the past and make everything a little bit better. If we look at the areas and divisions, we can see that we have 3 divisions, President Distinguished, and more of half of the areas, Distinguished, Select Distinguished, and President Distinguished. So this we need to do better, a little bit better. If the area has been distinguished, let's make it select distinguished, and so on. And if the area is president distinguished, then let's try to move it higher in the list of the best areas and the best clubs in Toastmaster International. So what I would like to do different and what I would like you to do different, I would like that all of us will celebrate our successes earlier. So we can do this together during the district spring conference, where I would like all of you to be already distinguished area directors. And we have seen in the past that this was possible for more than half of the areas. I would like all of you to be distinguished division directors, which is only one division didn't reach this term. I would like to see all your efforts awarded and that to see that you have made a difference. And you are already district distinguished in April. After that, till the end of the term, sky is the limit. I'm pretty sure that we can have better achievement if we learn from the past and we try to do a little better this term. So what's important for you? It's important to understand that here you need to share the vision with your club presidents, vice presidents of education, with your club boards. It's very important that all of us know what to do and where to go in the future. It's very important to build a team. The team can be with the board of the clubs or with your colleagues, area director, with your team leaders, division directors, and so on. This is something that you cannot do if you try to do it by yourself. So building a team is a task that has to be done and learned. Then be the leader that your team needs, because every team is different and you might not be friend with your colleagues in your team or with your leader, but you need to make it work. So make a plan and then adjust your plan during the way so you can reach our targets. So our vision is that we'll be distinguished district in April. Why I think it's very important to do in April? Because in the beginning of the term, everybody is very enthusiastic and they put a lot of work in what they do. And if we can gather this energy and reach our targets earlier, then everybody will be happier and they will make the last effort in May and in June to become Smedley district, which is what we missed this year with a very little number of membership payments. So this year we could have 90 clubs. We reached the Smedley distinguished regarding paid clubs. Regarding distinguished clubs, we had even more, but we missed the payments. So this is where we need to concentrate during this term. How to concentrate? We choose 4 strategic goals to share with the team and do better in the future. First, that will ensure an impeccable lifetime member experience, that every member will be happy to join our meetings, to come to our meetings, to stay in our meetings, and to be members for longer time. We have very low retainment rate in our district compared to the entire region. So this is a point where we need to concentrate. Then we'd like to have better club officer trainings. And the program started this year, and Elena will tell you more how to make the club officer trainings so that every club receive a similar experience in our entire district. Goal number 3, to have better organized contests. And we will also hear more about this contest, how we would like to make them better, because some of the members are members just because they would like to come to the contest, and then we need to give them this experience at the best quality level that we can provide. And goal number 4, to promote payment campaign for the entire term. So if the clubs are paying now in autumn, before September 30 for the entire year, then the members will have more time to understand what the program is about, and then we will not have the drop in April where everybody is wondering, did the corporate club pay? What is happening with that remote club that missed the term, and so on. So these are our 4 strategic goals. I will share this presentation with you, and I hope that you will share these goals also with your club boards. Just a few words about how distinguished status is measured, because we had the questions during previous term very late in the year about certain KPI. So first, we need all of you to participate in district officer training. We need to have 85% of all division area officer trained by September 30. If we miss this 85%, which means that if 1 or 2 of the area directors could not come, then we have no chance to become a distinguished district. Step 2, I'm sure that by today, all of you created your area success plan and submitted it to your division director. If you didn't, now it's the time to work on it and submit it, even if it is a little bit late. It's very important to have a plan and work by your plan. Step 3, no net club loss. Concentrate on all your clubs, not only on easy clubs, but also on challenging clubs. Submit your area director club visits reports. We had cases where people just forgot to submit their area visit reports. And this is mandatory for you to become area distinguished. Minimum 75% of your clubs, which mainly is 1 club, can be very difficult to reach once. However, it's very important that you visit your clubs and you submit your reports in time. And then you just need to have half of your club base plus 1 distinguished club in April, which means that if you have 4 clubs, 2 of them needs to have minimum 5 DCB points and 20 members, or net growth of 5 members. So 50% to be distinguished, 50% plus 1 to be select distinguished, and 50% plus 1 and the net club growth of 1 to be president distinguished. Very easy and achievable targets. After that, you will be becoming district area, distinguished district, distinguished area in April, and we are going to become distinguished district in April, and all of us together, we are going to celebrate your successes during the district conference. Thank you. There are some questions, and we are going to answer them after this presentation. Elena?
Thank you very much, Gabriela. Thank you for joining us, even with being on a trip. As we can see, we have our goals set very high to be distinguished not by the end of the year, but by April. And this is a great idea so that we can celebrate at the district conference in May. So thank you for throwing down a challenge. Of course, challenge is accepted, and we will do our best to make this happen. So the next part of our online training is mine, actually, and I will tell about club awards, which we introduced this year and about the fact why we introduced those club awards. So just a second, I will start sharing my presentation. Okay, so why did we introduce the new club awards this year? And some of you already heard from your division directors that we will have some new awards. Our goal is to make every club in our district succeed. We want every club to be distinguished. We want to celebrate success of every club. And to do this, we added some additional incentives for them. So as area directors looking at our clubs, we can say set certain educational goals, but not to force those goals on the clubs, because of course as leaders we cannot make anyone do anything. We can just empower them. We can just show them the right direction. So what I suggest we focus on in our efforts during our club visits, during our interactions with our clubs, and what we should always keep in mind in the back of our heads. What are we striving for? Because the first goal of Toastmasters is education. Yes, it is not achieving some other goals, it is just education. So what I suggest to focus on in interactions with the club, for each member to have at least one educational award, and in Pathways it is very easy to achieve now. And for each club to have at least 5 DCP points. This will make them distinguished, and it is for strong clubs, it is 5 DCP points is very easy. For weak clubs, we should just sit with them and during our club visit discuss what exactly should we do and what should be the steps to achieve those. And another goal is connected with Pathways. We will hear about Pathways also later during this training from Adriana. But what we should focus on as area directors is that all clubs, club officers should be enrolled and active in Pathways, because this is the last year of 2 systems together, and those goals should be our priority. And having those goals in mind, having the fact that we want to be distinguished by April, we have introduced several awards for the clubs to make them more motivated to achieve those goals. So first award is called Growth Excellence, and as you know, we have 3 membership awards during the year. The first membership award is called Smedley Award. It is in August and September, before the first round of payments. The second is Talk Up Toastmasters, before the second round of payments. And the third is Beat the Clock in the end of the year, May and June. So if a club achieves 2 out of 3 those membership awards, and to achieve the award, we need to have at least 5 new members during those 2 months. So if a club achieves 2 of 3 membership awards, they achieve Growth Excellence Award. The second one is Phoenix Award, and this is for clubs with under 20 members, which either add 5 new members or get to 20 by beginning of May. Why we set this deadline? Because this is this is aligned with our vision. We want to have to celebrate all successes at our district conference in May. So by the end of May, most of our awards, we will see which clubs got which awards. And during the previous year, we saw a few success stories in several areas when a club which was almost dying and did not have members at all became very strong and is continuing now its activity. For example, we have IT speakers, we have Torun Toastmasters, and several other clubs which could have achieved this award. So in the next year, those clubs will be our motivation. So we have Retention Excellence Award because in many clubs we have a very good membership. However, we have very low retention, meaning that many members come, but many members leave. So for clubs which have high retention and manage to have retention 65%, meaning that 65% of its members renew their payments in the first and second cycle, will get Retention Excellence Award. And we have Fast 5 awards for clubs which achieved 5 DCP points and have at least 20 members by the end of the year. It of course does not mean that this club will be distinguished because they need to have 20 members also in the end of the year. But after half of the year, we will see which clubs are on a good way and already have big potential in becoming distinguished club. We have Pathways Award for clubs which did not charter within Pathways system, for clubs which existed before. If we have all members enrolled in Pathways and completed at least an icebreaker by the end of the year, the end of the first half a year, at the end of December, then the club gets Pathways Award. And of course, this award is created to encourage members joining Pathways. This is what we should focus on as area directors when we have our club visits. Let's see if members are in Pathways, if they're doing Pathways project, if all officers are in Pathways, because next year the previous program will be gone and we need to encourage them to enroll in Pathways. If someone is not going for DTM in the old program, of course, then they should do it, and we need to help them to get this DTM by the end of the year. And we have District 108 Champions Award for clubs which manage to achieve distinguished status or higher by the end of April, according to our vision. And a very special award introduced by Gabriela this year is a Commitment Award, because this year we are introducing, this is our first time when we are introducing the payments for both terms. And to encourage members to pay for both terms in September till the end of the year, we're introducing financial award as well. We're introducing financial award, $50 for, not in money of course, but in reimbursement for marketing expenses, for Toastmasters store, for example, or organizing a special event. If a club pays at least 8 members from the club pay for both cycles in September, then the club will get a Commitment Award, and we as district leaders will have less work to do in the second cycle of payments, because now, of course, in the beginning of the year, it seems that everyone will renew, but actually as the year goes, it is really hard to get clubs pay on time, especially if those are corporate clubs, especially if those are struggling clubs. That's why let's encourage our clubs to pay for both cycles, at least those 8 members, because if 8 members are paid, it means that the club is in good standing. And the last award we have from a previous year, we had award for membership campaigns, the club with the biggest growth, and we really saw amazing results of this campaign. That's why we decided to continue, that clubs really increase their membership because of those 2 months campaign. And we have $100 for one best club which will achieve the biggest membership growth during the campaign. So those are all this is all for the awards. As for we had a question about the what clubs will get, and we had a great suggestion to give clubs ribbons. So ribbons, we all like ribbons, so we won't only have the certificate and the kind of award, but we will also see if we can do our district ribbons with special symbols of those awards, and so that clubs can proudly put it and pin it to their banners. Those type of awards worked great in other districts. That's why this year we're introducing it, and we will see how it goes. So with support of everyone in the district, we're hoping to achieve bigger success with help of those incentives. So thank you very much. I will now stop sharing my slides, and we will go to the next topic. And the next topic we have is club visits. And this topic will be presented by Monica.
Hello. Do you hear me?
Hello, yes, we can hear you. Are you sharing your slides?
Yes.
Okay.
Right. Okay. This is my first presentation. Oh my God, it's working.
Okay, great.
Yeah, it's working.
Yes, it's working very well.
Oh my God, it's working. Hello,
okay,
everyone.
The floor is yours.
Hello, everyone. It's a big challenge for me to speak English. So I'm very excited. I hope so that you are also excited about your club visits. So I will tell you how can you do it well, what is your purpose, and how you can help your clubs with your club visit. So the area director role is very difficult, I think. It is a lot of duties during this year, but the most important thing for me is your club visit. You have to visit your club at least twice a year. Of course, you can do it more frequently if you can. This is the powerful tool for us and for clubs. So what is the purpose of club visits? This is the kind of tool when you can support all your clubs in achieving excellence. This is our district mission also. So using this tool, you can reach our district mission. Oh my God. If you like manuals, we have a lot of manuals for it. This is the two which I mentioned. This is the guide for area director how to serving clubs through visit, and of course, the important is your club visit report. So, oh my God. Something goes wrong, but your club visit is divided into 3 parts. Before visit, during the visit, and after. Of course, this is showed only after, but this part before is very important. So, if you if you want to realize your club visit, prepare. Preparing is the most important. You can see the dashboard, the DCP, the story of your club, go to Easy Speak, take a look about how many guests our club have, how many speakers, how many roles we're taking, what's the topic of the meeting. You have to also see the social media, how the PR is looking, what they publish on their social media. Then I think the good practice is contact with the president. And arrange your visit. Tell them about the visit, what is the goal, what is the purpose of the visit, what you want to talking about during your visit. Talk with the president. Maybe you can call or see the club president in live. Tell them, ask about story of the club, about president experience in Toastmasters. Then I think you can give a good example. So take a role, make a speech, or request time or on the meeting agenda, especially in the last part of the meeting. You can tell something good about club, what they are. What they were doing good during the meeting, and before these all steps, see the area club visit report. Show it to president. You can see what topic, what type of data you need to fulfill your report. Then is the next step. It's during your club visit. The first is very important. You can take your badge and your pin and present it with a proud in a forum. You can make a speech to give good example. A speech about vision, mission of the Toastmasters, about our educational program, about pathways. It could be educational presentation. During your visit, you have to do notes. Take your area club visit report written and make some notes, because as you can see, the area club visit report is based on the 6 moments of truth. This is our standards of club quality. So you can do notes on your report. During your club visit, observe carefully the club, the meeting, and define strengths, challenges, and how you can support the club, how the district and how you can support the club. After your visit, it's very important to follow up, talk with president, talk with VPE, VPM, because in your club visit report, this is the part which you need help to fill it. This is part of educational part, which you need VPS help to fill it. So do the report. After meeting, send a thank you note to all officers and communicate with club presidents so frequently as you can. Maybe you can invite officers to your area council meeting and be in touch, be in relationship with the club officers. Oh, this is very important. Your visit is like a audit. I recommend you to give an information to club officers that you are going with your club visit report, with your club visit. Don't make them, I don't know what is in English. You can make a wrong surprise. Don't do it. It's not like audit. Remember one sentence. This is your sentence, your motto. I'm here to support you. So if you give any recommendation, is like a support, not like an order, not like a wrong, like an order, but you give a support to achieve club excellence. I think it's all. If you have any questions, there will be question session at the end. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Monica. Thank you. It was really great presentation, and I think that the main point is that we are here to support. Yes, this is our main goal, and we should change our mindset a little bit. That when we will come with this badge of area director as to the club visit, then we will be treated a little bit differently, even if this is a club with our friends.
I'm agree with you, Elena, because one of my club hates me, I think, even hates me. So I have to change my mindset. I'm here to support you.
Yes, exactly. And if we change this mindset and come with supports, then this is the big part of our success. Thank you very much, Monica. So let's move to the next topic, and the next topic will be pathways. This is our new educational program, not so new already, but we still need to talk a lot about it during this year. So let's welcome our club growth director, Adriana. Adriana, we can't hear you. Can you unmute yourself? Hello. But we can see your slides already.
Yes, and you can see me looking for the button to unmute myself.
Okay, great. Now we can hear you and we can see your slides. Perfect.
And you should also see them, yeah, full screen. I hope now. Okay, so yes, destination pathways. So this is where all we are headed to, whether we like it or not. But let's see why this is the situation. And this presentation I'm giving today is not really meant to be an introduction or explanations of pathways, but mainly to help you find the ways to convince the clubs and the members that we should go to pathways, and what are the benefits and how to do that. Just to get view of the current situation, well, it's from April this year, regarding the pathways adoption rate by division. So this is division A and division B, and you see in white the adoption rate for the officers, in brown, adoption rate for the new members, and in dark blue, the overall adoption rate. So this is for each club in each division, and the same graph for...
Hey, sorry, excuse me, Gabriela, sorry, Adriana, can you speak a little bit closer to the microphone, because it's very, very faint. Your voice is very, very faint. So some of us can't even hear you.
Is this better?
It's the same.
It's the same. How about now?
Little bit better.
Okay. Okay. So I don't have my whole equipment with me, so I'm also traveling. So it's but hope it will go better. So if you don't hear me, at least you can see from the graphs that we are not at 100%, and 100% adoption rate is our goal. And let's see first, why is this? Because as you know, we are in 2019, and it's not about technical advancement and technology and stuff, but it's about the fact that this is the last year where when the old educational program is valid. So after 2020, there will be only pathways, and we should be prepared for that. And as leaders, I'm sure you are aware that we should be examples, and we should be already in pathways. So all the officers and us, everybody, all of us should be already in pathways, because we cannot teach, we cannot educate about pathways if we are not there, and we should be an example. And the more of us are there, the more members get to be in pathways, and we will obtain a critical mass in the club, and therefore after this it will be easier for all the other members to be in pathways, and they'll get more information, and it'll be like the pathway spirit within the club. And well, whether we like it or not, and even I don't know how it looks at the very beginning, I have some impressions about this. It might look complicated, but the truth is pathways offers more. There are more possibilities, more variability, and also more flexibility, which might feel unclear. But one more thing, if we think in terms of DCP points and awards, pathways offer a faster advancement. So it's much easier in time-wise to get to level 1 or level 2 or level 3 in pathways when you compare it to the time it took to get a CC or ACB or other awards in the old educational system. Well, we are strong together, and that's why I used your help to put together this presentation and to understand what are your challenges in having pathways at the clubs, and what are the solutions you proposed. So I will first present in the rest of the presentation your answers with regards to challenges, solutions, and also will add a couple of ideas from me. Do you hear me well enough?
Yes, we can hear you very well now.
Okay, good. So the challenges that I've got from you are that the pathway system is unclear. People don't know what projects, how many projects, what is the structure. There is no translation of the materials from English to Polish or Lithuanian. The officers do not know pathways, how to use it, how to use Basecamp. The interface is not that easy in Basecamp. There is no access for the VPEs to the project manuals. There's a lack of acknowledgement in pathways for evaluation and also for other roles like topic master, toastmaster, and so on. It's hard to track the member achievements, and the experienced members see it as actually going back. Well, thank you for all these challenges, and luckily you also sent me some solutions, and several, from which I pick that we should encourage people to talk about their experience in pathways, and I would say both good and bad, experience. We should have trainings for pathways and for pathways mentors. I mean, how to talk about pathways, to provide short how-to guides for pathways, and also show interesting projects in the higher levels. And in addition to this, also provide trainings for the base camp managers. If we get back to the challenges, we'll see that with these solutions we have covered some of them, but there are still who have been left uncovered, and they are those in bold, so there is no translation. Unfortunately, at this point, I cannot help or give any indication on what to do on the official term. One application to make a translation has been made 2 years ago at the TMI, but it has been declined. One measure in order to decide if we need a translation or not is the number of clubs that are using the corresponding language. But we'll see more about this at the convention this year. Hopefully there will be more better news, but we are not there yet. The officers' lack of knowledge. I have somehow, it's been like treated in the solution with the trainings for officers, but I want to stress this more, because if we look at what we have, and if we have the graph in white with the officers' adoption rate, and in blue the overall pathways adoption rate all over the district, we can see from this that there's a clear correspondence and correlation, actually as expected, between these two. So the better the officers and more officers are trained, the better the members have their experience in pathways. So that's why I really want to stress once more that it's very important that if officers are in pathways, that they are trained and that they know what to tell to their members. Regarding the acknowledgement of evaluation and other roles in pathways, if we look at the official documents, by level 3, we should have served as topic master, toastmasters, and evaluator. And there's also possibility to record this in Basecamp. More details about, if you have questions about this, send me in the chat and I'll reply in the chat or by email. There's also one possibility to look at the pathways differently, especially for the old members, well, not old in the same terms of age, but as experience in Toastmasters. And I can understand that pathways might feel challenging at the very beginning. If you compare the structure, seemingly clear structure of the old system with what you see at the very beginning in pathways. However, if we put it differently and stress the fact that at the very beginning we select the member selects what it is interesting, and then assess his or her level on that topic, sets an intention on what to do next, and then goes along with the next levels, it gets to have more structure. And one more thing that I want to stress here, that sometimes the idea of an icebreaker is something for a newbie. But if you look at the icebreaker as presenting yourself at the current moment in Toastmasters, or your intention with respect to the path you have taken, it's not something that going back, but actually it's about going forward on a new direction, and yet then another one, and so on. Regarding knowledge and lack of knowledge, well, the internet, it's full of materials about Toastmasters. You just need to Google it. I have put here, and you can find the presentation on the drive with a couple of pointers to some materials available. Then there are both short handouts and more extensive material. And to conclude, what I would like you to to retain for this presentation is the importance to motivating the officers to join Pathways and to have them well trained for Pathways, to organize trainings for members and officers, to involve the older members to share their experience. And also, I mean, in here, about maybe for languages, if people have experience that it's easier to translate like verbally or give some local materials to help those who cannot use English that well. And also have in mind that you can always, I mean, if you have challenges with respect to what people are thinking, you can also look at the things from a different perspective and change it. So at this point, I thank you for your attention, and I will check the chat for your questions. And also, if you have later on questions about this, send me the email. You have my address at the beginning of the presentation. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Adriana, for this presentation. Yes, what we really need to focus on is that all leaders, club leaders, and we ourselves as district leaders, we are ambassadors of Pathways, because we do not want to lose our experienced members because they do not like the system, or we need to get them to get buy-in from them in this sense. Thank you very much, and let's move to the next topic, which is club officers trainings, and it will be presented by Alicia. Let's welcome Alicia.
Hello everyone. I will start to share my slides, of course. Yeah, I hope it will be working. Yeah, I think that you now see my slides, yes? Okay, great. Yes. Okay, great. So, hello everyone, my name is Alicja Palińska. I'm a Division C Director. And now I will cover a very important topic for us as district officers and for you as area directors, because club officers trainings are one of your responsibility to organize club officers trainings for your clubs. And there are two terms, of course, as you know, and I know that almost all of you have organized your club officers trainings, but there are some still areas that are not trained. And I know that it's also very important to share good practices and to share knowledge and to share our ideas, how to organize the most effective club officers trainings. And Monica said that for her, club visits were one of the most important things, one more exciting thing. But for me, as area director, the COT, so club officer training, was the biggest challenge and the most exciting things to do, as I said, as area director. So club officer trainings they have two purposes for me. One is for us as officers to be more effective leader, to organize, to know, to learn how to organize effective workshops, how to share our knowledge, how to motivate people. As you see, our Toastmaster International mission, it's for us to become more effective leaders. And of course, there is also our district mission to support clubs in achieving excellence. So club officer trainings is to share knowledge, is to share mission, is to share good practices, how to be distinguished club and how to be perfect club for members. And you see our mission, but it's above us. Of course, COT must focus on the club's interest. And the club officers have to know how to serve for their members. So it's also the very important purpose of COT. And as I talked with my area directors, and as I talked with my previous with other officers, we know how to prepare COT or not. Actually, we share our experience. We follow previous officers, but I want to tell you that in our Toastmasters resources, there are 26 items with tips and with knowledge how to prepare COT. Have you know about it? That there are 26 workbooks how to prepare COT. As I can show you where find it. So we are going to Toastmasters.org. Here is the print screen of our dashboard. So we are in the Toastmasters.org. And in the main, even you don't need to be logged in. So this is the menu, the main one, and you can find here resource. We are in the resource library, and in a select category, you have club officer training. And here we have 26 of materials, of piece of information, how to prepare COT. One of the most important and workbook is training club leaders. There are like 16 pages of tips, of best practices, how to plan and how to present club officer training. So if you already have your club officers training in your areas, just check the materials to find new ideas, to find new practices, to find new workshops, to find new team buildings games, because there are a lot of them in the resources. And what to cover in your club officer trainings? Of course, it's up to you, because you are a new leader, and it's a challenge for you to share your knowledge, as I said. So you can, based on your experience from the previous club officer trainings, you take part as a club officer. And of course, it's good, but it's also good to challenge yourself and to find new resolution, how to share your knowledge. Maybe prepare some workshop, maybe ask your colleagues from the clubs what they want to have on the COT. So it's your decision, and it's also your challenge to prepare and to organize the COT. You can find yourself as a leader, and it's great for you to organize it and just check how it will work, and after ask club officers if they like it or what we can improve, because we are here in Toastmaster to learn. You know that we have 2 rounds of COT. So actually it's from 1st of June till 31st of August, but we start our trainings in July, in the end of June and at the beginning of July, because now from that date we know the boards, we know who are club officers in the club, and the second round is the same. So the best date is to organize the COT, it's beginning of January. And what to put in agenda? Almost in every COT, of course, there's a session about the roles in the clubs. So we present the roles, responsibility, and the tools for so information for how to find the information and how to find the workbook for club officers, and we share the knowledge. But it's not only this, because the club officers' role, there are it's put in the workbooks, so they can find the information there. But the other things we can cover, there is, for example, club quality. We have to can prepare moments of truth for as a workshop. We can discuss how to be distinguished club. We can also, I put here the topics which you can find in the resources library. So the workbooks are for all of these topics. You can find them and check the information there. So leading the club to success. So how to prepare goals to be distinguished. So it's about club success plan. It's also, it can be also the workshop, how to build a healthy team. What you can discuss is trust, healthy conflicts, commitment, and how to achieve goals. And also, for the second round of training, you can prepare the workshops, how to continue success, or how to resolve problems, how to find new solution, and how to be successful. I want to tell you that there are two formats of trainings. We are doing it in a traditional way. So it's one or few trainers in one room, and it's like 4 hours of trainings. And you can present the program consequently, and all of the officers are hearing all of the topics from agenda. And there are groups in the, there are works in the group by office or by club boards. And also there are TLI workshops. This is the different kind of trainings, but it's also possible, as Toastmaster International said. One of the most important things is promotion. Start few weeks before COT, plan the promotion. So Facebook event, mailing, groups, phone calls, and messenger. It's very important to invite all of the club officers and to share the benefits and to share the agenda, to present trainers. And also it's nice to have snack and coffee in your trainings. And at the end, I want to tell you that that it's important to ask club officers about problems, about challenges they have. And it's also nice to prepare extra materials, extra workshops, or even all sessions with clubs. The materials I show you in the library in Toastmasters.org. They present some possibilities to and presentation from Successful Club series, the Better Speaker series, and the Leadership Excellence series. So it's good after the COT to find the most important needs of the clubs and to prepare speeches and to prepare presentations and some workshop for individually for the club. As Monica said, it's good to do it during your visits in the club. So be prepared for the club visit, prepare your speech, prepare your presentation about from some club series, and give the tips, give good practices for the clubs. And this is all what I wanted to share with you. And I hope that for you it's also a great challenge to organize COT. And for the next session, it will be better than before, because you collect the feedback and you can improve yourself as a leader. So thank you for your attention, and I will check the questions you have.
Thank you very much, Alicia, for this presentation. So yes, we need to have our trainings as standard, as close to standards as possible, and those topics which you presented are very important. We're also working on one standard presentation, our district presentation, which we will show on every club officers training, and we will distribute among all clubs, where we will have information about our district, about our awards, and so on. So the main points, and I think that we will share it with you soon when the presentation is done. And now let's move to the next topic, which is a very exciting topic, finance. We all usually like this topic very much and have many questions. So let's welcome our finance manager, Lena.
Hello, everyone. You will get the presentation definitely, but afterwards. Any case, there is most of you are aware that we have a system called Concur. Now, Concur is a SAP-based platform where we need to record our expenses. It's also approval, and it's also auditing system. So that's why it is really important that everyone gets in. However, unfortunately, as of today, we have the core team and the division directors, and only 3 of the area directors who have access there. Now, the thing is that, why is that? It is really for the reason that Toastmasters International is not exactly the fastest in the world, but this time of the year they have all the divisions, all the areas coming, or actually districts, to coming there and asking the same thing. So at the moment, those who are the lucky ones, so Peter from B3, Mantas from B4, and Robert from C3, you are the lucky ones because you had been there before, so you had used them. The list has been sent, the rest of you, to Toastmasters International, and I hope that they will provide the access as soon as possible. The thing is that it might take a time. Toastmasters International will approach everyone with the login name and password, the temporary password. But then when you get it, if you don't get it end of next week, please let me know and I will chase them up again. But I would like to give them a 1 week because, as I said, there are thousands of people they need to input to the system. There is, of course, as you know, Toastmasters International have answers to in their web page to everything. So also the training for Concur is there, and it is not a difficult system. It just requires a bit of accuracy, and also from your part that your information is correct. So when you get the access, what you need to do is update your personal record there, and then for example, your bank account, and that is one of the most important things. Some of you have already asked about that. How about our budget? And the budget is really important. The budget is coming from the district trio very soon, I'm sure. They are assessing that, and Gabriella has set the lines that where we want to focus on this year. The budget will be cut by the way where also it reflects how the district trio has think that how should we do it. But this point of time, as it has come out, we still have, or the area directors have started for the club officer training, and I have got some questions that how much money I have. The best recommendation at this point of time is look your previous year budget. As Gabriella told us in the beginning, the growth is about 8%. So when you are thinking and forming your budget, that is an excellent starting point. Last year's budget and then about the 8% growth. If you have expenses before you get your access to Concur, please ask your division directors to help you, because they can work in the between for a short period of time. For the training as such, let me just put it the address. Okay, so hopefully you will get the access to Concur as soon as possible. As said, please let me know if you haven't had by end of next week, and I do my best to ensure that you will have the access as soon as possible. In the meantime, also go to Toastmasters International page and look for the training. There is massive amount of training, so that will help you also to look even before you have access, how to use the Concur. There is, okay, so Elena, okay, thank you. Now, for the, at this point of time, because we are behind the schedule, or I am and behind the schedule, if you have any questions based on asking Concur or expenses before you have had access to Concur, please send me an email or then online send me a question about it, so I try to do my best to answer your questions.
Okay, thank you very much, Lena, for your presentation. What we need to know as district leaders is well, very important is yes, about how we can get the reimbursements and what we can spend on and what we can't spend on. So those are very important issues which we also, I'm sure, are discussed in divisions with division directors, and every division also plans their own budgets. So thank you very much. We were planning a 5 minutes break. We are a little bit behind schedule, so I don't know, would you like to have a 5 minutes bio break or grab a coffee or something? Yes, great. So let's meet here in 5 minutes and continue with our next topic, okay? Okay, so are we back? Let's continue our training, our presentations. I got myself a second coffee and we can go on. So the next presentation which was planned actually was by Davile, our Division B director, but I'm not sure she could join us. Maybe someone of area directors from Division B knows something about it. We have Peter and we have Lucas. So maybe can you, do you know if Davile could join us?
Yes, hello, this is Peter. I have no knowledge about Davile's movements, I'm afraid. Sorry about that.
Okay, thank you for information. Anyways, if she will be able to join us later, we will continue with her presentation. But now let's move to the next topic, which is marketing and PR in the district. And it will be presented by our PR manager, Valeria. The floor is yours.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Very good. Hi, everyone. My name is Valeria. Greetings from Moscow, Russia. Not many of you yet know me, but I'm pretty sure that during this term, you'll get really well familiar with who I am and what we're going to do together. Now, I'm going to demonstrate my screen. Is it there? Can you see it?
Yes, we can see.
Very good. Well, so what is public relations and what does it have to do with Toastmasters and branding and marketing and promoting? About 3 years ago, one of the district 95 directors, Case Bross, visited Moscow, and he gave a workshop. And at this workshop for all Moscow clubs, he shared the great knowledge, the biggest secret. That's what he said. Toastmasters is the best kept secret in the world. So we're sitting here holding a workshop session. Every club meets almost once in a couple of weeks. So every day there are so many meetings, so many Toastmaster sessions, and we're all behind the closed doors. So not all of people, not even the half of population know about Toastmasters. So basically, our role as the PR managers, as PR club officers, to make Toastmasters visible to the public, to stop hiding like kittens behind the closed doors, and let's go out, let's publicize, let's make a Toastmaster brand visible to all of us, all people around us. That's what we really need to do. We spoke a lot about educational goals, club growth goals, pathways things. Those are specific goals that we put in front of ourselves and that we follow and that we achieve. As for public relations, it should become for all of us as natural as, eating, sleeping, drinking, breathing. For Toastmasters, if we are real Toastmasters, we are evangelists of the brand. Every time we speak, every time we share the knowledge, we promote, we go public. And as Toastmasters website defines the public relationship concept, is to generate positive awareness of the Toastmasters brand for the purpose of, guess what? Attracting and retaining members. So basically, if we look deep, public relations and marketing is the fundamentals of Toastmasters. Without public relations, without marketing, it will be really hard to tell people about Toastmasters, to attract people, to turn them into members, and to make them stay and develop. So let's go public this year. Who do we target? Because the target audience for PR and marketing is probably the key, is one of the key things. So once again, referring to the website, we target 2 audiences. It's external, which means public, like people around us, people in the streets, basically people who are just, came by the meeting and didn't know anything about us, about Toastmasters, and of course, the current members, the internal audience. So our great priority is to keep both of them, both external public and internal members, informed on what's going on in Toastmasters, in general, in district, and in particular, in your own communities, in your own clubs. How do we do that? Through communication channels and through media. And today we have lots of channels, lots of means of communication that we can use freely and easily. So let's promote and market. How do we do that? So how do we, where do we start this year, and where do we want to end? So first things come first. And what we need to do, what I encourage you to do together with me, is forming PR teams. We are not talking only about the district PR team. We are talking about the club PR teams, area PR teams, division PR teams. For that, we are hiring. And I will show you the link that will follow on the other slide, where I created a survey. And I would really, really ask you, all area directors, all division directors, to share it with all club members, so that we can see if there is a potential, but there is a potential, but who is willing to contribute and to help us to PR and market. It's like we're breathing and eating and drinking and sleeping, so being natural. Next thing that we do is social coverage. It's basically talking, sorry, is this beeping somewhere? Can you hear this beep? Okay, whatever. So social coverage means different means of communication that we use for external and internal audiences. That's direct mailing, as Alicia has already mentioned. It's Facebook groups, it's our website and blog, and there are lots of other social media resources that we can use, and special programs that we're going to implement through the year. Of course, PR manager is responsible for the internal support, supporting your leadership team. If it's a PR club officer, then he's about to help his president and fellow club members and officers, and going level up. We're helping to build the strong team and the strong support in terms of PR and media coverage as well. Of course, another important thing is the brand guard. Many of us have seen those weird McDonald's sign that could be turned round or backwards, meaning having nothing in common with McDonald's. And basically, not all of us know how to use Toastmasters brand accordingly. So there are lots of guidelines, and I'm sharing them with you, so that if we see the wrong use of the brand, the wrong use of the logo, the wrong slogans, and the wrong concepts, then our task and our target is to make them clear and correct them. And of course, it's communication. As I said, it's both internal among the club members and the teams, and of course, external to the public via magazines, via Facebook, via all social coverage that we may have. Now, useful resources. That's what I'm going to share. We will share all the presentations. So all those links are clickable here. And I actually chose 4 main resources to share with you. One is really good. That's the PR section on the website of toastmasters.org. And there are so much interesting stuff there. You cannot even imagine. Lots of materials, lots of templates, lots of webinars, lots of trainings. So please do ask your PR managers and go there yourself to explore what this section has to offer. The brand manual is for brand guarding, actually. So it's very useful, and it's very, very complete and very full of interesting visuals. Visual guidelines, the colors, the fonts, the templates, all things that we need to use appropriately. And finally, the media center. It's something that you probably don't really know about. but there is the media center in toastmasters.org, and there's a link to it. So there you can find interesting articles, interesting news, and posts to share with your members and the officers. See if they can be really useful. Now, about hiring. We are hiring, and here's the form that I've created. That's on Google Docs. That's I think is not that small, but it offers lots of opportunities and lots of options to contribute. So depending on where you want to apply your knowledge and where you want to challenge yourself, please do fill in this form. So we're collecting the responses, and please share this form with all your club members, all your area officers, everyone who is somehow related to Toastmasters. And to leave you with a final thought, once again, let's not look at Toastmasters as of something that we should hide. Let's look at Toastmasters that we should promote at every corner and tell everyone that we exist, that we are great, we are amazing, we are fantastic. And let's form a great team of PR people, and together, I think we will play champions. Thank you very much for being here, and I'm here to support you, and I'm open to all sorts of PR questions, and I'm here to, help at every small detail. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Valeria. Now we can see by your beautiful slides how great PR we will have during this year in our district. Thank you very much. We will make our best to promote Toastmasters wherever we can. And the next topic we will have will be about a very emotional topic for many of us. Club, area, division, and district contests. This is what's causing always lots of emotion. And this is one of our goals in the district this year, is to have impeccable contests in our district on all levels. And this topic will be presented by Division A Director Rafał Staszek-Welstaszewski.
Hello, everybody. I'm also traveling, so I hope that nothing will interrupt us. At least so good. But recently I found out that I have some animals here, so if some weird noise, let me, sorry for that. So about the contest, as you heard, so emotional. That's why it needs to be strict to the rules, and every time before you go to the contest, please just check the current rule book, because every year we have a new rule book, and everything, simply everything what is needed to be known from a mechanical point of view, let's say, is written there. So anything can change, like from the last year, there are no international semi-finals. There are just videos which are sent to the central, where you can get every participants visible. They check the video and later on choose who will be. Sorry for that. Is somebody listening to the music also? Because I constantly hear the music here.
No, there is no music. Probably it's coming from your own device.
Okay. Contest. First of all, you should not organize the contest. You should find out the people who will do it for you. If you can, I know that in not every area it's possible, you should have as many judges, the best is all the judges, outside from the area. Yeah, the music stopped. If you will have all the judges outside from your area, it will just secure that there will be no biases. I know that it's not possible every time, so you can work on it to have one judge from each club and later on choose different judges from other area. Then you will secure that it will be as clear as possible, and nobody should react that, oh, the judges were from the same club and the results are not valid, etc., etc. You don't want it. Probably it may happen because there are some people who will be unhappy just because they didn't win. Sorry for that. So about the division contest, when you're organizing the division, you should try to have judges not from the club of participants. So first of all, you should talk with the chief judge not to get judges from the club which have participants. It may be hard, and it should be done at least like 3 weeks before the conference. Because if you will do it in the last moment, there is no time, and it's work which should be done like, okay, please remember to be on time with this. If you have people who will help you with time, with evaluation, with judges, with collecting the votes, etc., etc., it's all need to be done properly. So I don't know if you already have your division, the conference organizers find out, but it's good to have a team which is separately only for the contest. Then you will just secure that they don't need to think on anything else. And it helped me a lot with the effect that I have a person who coordinate everything what was connected with the contest. It would help a lot. About the contest, you can area contest is the hardest one to organize because people typically don't want to go there. So first of all, you should try to not make it a huge event like a conference, but promote it in your club that it's worth to go there because you can challenge yourself, see the best, help the people from your club. And if you have a weak club in your area, it may be a good suggestion that this club will organize area contest on their meeting. So they will have some kind of special meeting for the guests, etc. And I organized it in my area during last contest, and it helped because typically they have like 15 people, and this time get 45. And for the members of the club, it was very supportive, and they have more energy after organizing it. What is very important, especially on area contest, you want to have it as brief as possible. So don't think about additional special event, prolonging questionnaire, interviews, or anything like this. People will get tired after it. So think about what you can do to make it as brief and as short as possible. When you're looking for people who organize the contest, the most important is, as mentioned, the chief judge and the person who is responsible for the contest, so like a Toastmaster. It's worth to have at least one person who got experience in organizing it, and it may happen that they will organize also the club level before. Because if they have already experience, if you talk with them about what they did, what was good, I bet that almost all of you organize the contest, you know what may happen. Just talk with them. The more you will talk and provide the guidance by talking and putting your arm on the shoulder, the more support they will receive, and it is very, very important. Also, it's important to get some kind of special recognition. So if you can think about something what is unexpected and small, like last year I make a wooden medals, not a normal one, because then the people who is in the contest feel they are special when they not receive the same kind of medal. Like I have 20 the same medals, and it's not fun anymore. And if you have something special, they will feel much better about it. If you will talk about your division and you will have some cash for the contest, especially for area contest, it's great. If not, I recommend you to talk with the clubs and say like something like, I need 50 zloty from each club for the contest. And it's enough to organize the contest, and I think there will not be a club which will have problem with it. And it's the easiest way to deal with the money for the contest. I think that from the tip side of view, it's the most important part, Sorry for some noises of the animals. If you have any questions about the contest, please ask me. Write me an email, and first of all, just read the manual, the newest manual. I think that there is already the new one, and you will have all the information about the tools that you need to do during the contest and the procedure. And if you will know them, you can just make your list of the most important points and then check if people responsible for the contest will know them also. Thanks you a lot.
Thank you very much for your presentation, Rafał. We know that you're very experienced in contests. The most important point is, yes, read the manual. Read the manual. Do not do the contest as you think it should be done, but before every contest, just go through the manual and tell your people who organize your contests do the same. Great, thank you very much. And the next presentation will be done by Piotr, our immediate past district director and our master Yoda of our district this year. And he will be talking about team management and successful club planning. Let's welcome Piotr.
Hello, everybody. I'm so happy that you came for this training, for this meeting, and I think I hope you can benefit from it and use this the knowledge, the experience from others for your own benefit. I will use my 10 minutes to share with you 3 tips which helped me be successful as area director, and actually these are the things that might help you in all other roles, in all other leadership roles in Toastmasters, and to some extent also outside of Toastmasters. I'm not having any presentation today. I'm just a little bit of talking, a little bit of experience sharing. And first tip I have is related to the mission. I like to start with a mission, why we are doing what we are doing. You know, if those of you who know me, you already know that I'm doing it, typically starting with a mission. So let me remind you that the district mission is to build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. So that's the mission of the district. That's the mission of the district officers, and we are all district officers. The thing is, when you go to the clubs have different mission. And it's not to build new clubs and support all clubs in achieving excellence. It's a different mission. It's a mission of the club. And believe it or not, the club officers very often do not know the mission of the club, let alone the mission of the district. So my first tip to you is to align the mission. I don't know if you see it in a mirror or not. If yes, then yeah, you need to translate it into the regular script. But first of all, you need to align the mission. So when you speak to your club officers, to club presidents, typically usually club presidents, vice presidents of educations, and vice presidents of membership, you need to make sure that you are all on the same page in terms of understanding the mission of the club and the district. The thing is that there is at least one connection point between the district mission and the club mission. Because when you support all clubs in achieving excellence, you support all clubs in achieving their club mission, in realizing their club mission. So the thing is that if the club realizes their club mission, that should at least ensure the excellence of that club, and that's your thing. So when you speak to your club officers, you may share with them that, okay, my mission, the district mission, is to support all club in achieving excellence, and the club mission, you can remind them the club mission and show the connection between these two. So this is the why. This is why you are talking. This is why you are, as an area director, you are talking to your club officers. This is the why. This is this connection point. So make sure that this happens. It helped me building the common ground with the club officers of the clubs I had in my area to start the discussion. Now, you know, because most of you are pretty experienced, you know that every club has their own specific way to realize the club mission. And the second hint I have for you is to empower them. So whatever the club comes up with as an idea to realize the club mission, support it, empower them to realize that, empowering them to realize their things, their ideas, in order to support the club mission. So don't tell them what to do. Don't tell them what they need to do unless they ask you for that, and unless they ask you to tell them what they need to do, because they might be inexperienced. But otherwise, and that will be the case in most situations, ask them what they plan to do and support to realize. The only moment where I would ask you to intervene is, in fact, when their ideas are are contrary to the club mission, and maybe they are not in line with Toastmasters values. I will give you an example. There was a club when I was division director that had this idea to invite people from outside Toastmasters to every meeting and allow them half an hour of the meeting time to share something, like a training, like a keynote speech or something like this. And the question is whether that brings the value to Toastmasters. I would say once in a while doing it is okay. For every club, it's disputable, because that takes time that people can spend on the stage practicing. So these are the things that you need to consider when you go and speak with the club officers of your clubs. So how to empower them? How to make sure that you do it in the best possible way? What I would suggest you is, if you didn't do it yet, go to Pathways and realize, go as fast as possible to level 2. And there are 2 projects: understand your communication style and understand your leadership style. This gives you at least quite a hint, quite a background knowledge how you operate, how you communicate, and what's your leadership style. And if you do that, you are much more conscious in talking to your club officers, which is important. And then once you know it, and once you know what your club officers, what your clubs need, you may adapt your approach to the situation. So for example, you have, let's say, 4 or 5 clubs, and in 2 clubs or 3 clubs, you have experienced members, experienced club president, experienced VPE. And your conversation with them will be a little bit different than with 2 other clubs when you have completely new people. Like, there are cases when people come to Toastmasters and within a few months they become club presidents. You need to talk with them a little bit differently than with people who have been in Toastmasters for 3 or 4 years, and then and only now they become club presidents. You need to be adaptive. You need to be flexible. And I would say there's a very good model. It's a leadership model. It's Ken Blanchard's situational leadership model, and that may help you. So I encourage you. I will type it in here. I send it to the chat box. You may look it up on the website. Read about it. There's a lot of materials about it, and apply it immediately. That will enhance your capabilities and flexibility. Now you have a lot of things on your plate. We've heard a lot of things: contests, club visits, moments of truth, a lot of different things. And well, it's very difficult to eat it alone. So what you need to do is my third tip is to build a team. So most likely your club officers typically are not even aware that they are part of your team. Your area council. Presidents, VPEs, and VPMs are your area councils. Invite them to participate in the team, because very often they will not even know that they are part of your team. So invite them to participate actively in your team, as in area team. And also, I really strongly suggest that you have an assistant, at least one assistant that will help you do whatever you ask them to do. Help organize the contest, help organize club visits, help communicate, help sharing information with the clubs, anything. Have an assistant. And chances are that your assistant will be good enough that they will be also a candidate for your successors. And again, I will reiterate over and over again, start looking for your successors now, if you didn't do it yet. They might be the best candidates for your successors are your assistants. So your assistants and your club of presidents, VPEs and VPMs become your team. And people work best together when they know each other and when they can trust each other. And this comes on typically from the face-to-face meeting. So use every single opportunity when you meet these people to build a team, to sit together, to work together, to allow people to get to know each other. Only then you will create this momentum and you will create the trust, and then you will be able to have a team, to run the team properly. So the club officers, the contests, whatever situation is that you might invite everybody, all your team to one place, please do it. And then spend some time together with them, with club presidents, VPEs, VPMs, and your assistants, to sit together and discuss the business, whatever you need to discuss, exchange knowledge, exchange experience. This works really, really well if you allow time for people to get together personally. Now, one last hint how you can do it is, for example, invite club officers from other club when you go for a club visit to another club. So, for example, you have a club A, where you go for the visit, invite club officers from club B, C, and D to come to that meeting. And at the same time, you create more opportunities for people to speak together, to get together. Now, keep reinforcing that you are a team and recognize all the efforts and all successes of that team, of every individual and you as a team. And I'm wishing you a great time this year. If, as I said before many times, if you have any questions, if you need support, we are all here to help you. We are all here to make sure you are successful. Good luck, my dears.
Thank you very much, Piotr, for sharing your knowledge, Toastmasters wisdom with us. So the last presentation, the next and the last presentation, we will hear from the best area director from the last year, the person who got the award for being the best area director, and he will share with us how he managed to achieve this. So he will give us a few tips what we should focus on during our year. Let's hear from Zen.
Hello everyone, can you hear me?
Yes, very well.
Okay, great. Just don't mind, there is a washing machine running in the background, so you may hear some background noise. I'm in the middle of moving an apartment this weekend, so it's just a bit of a mess here. Greetings from Dublin. So I'm no longer in Poland, no longer in District 108, but my heart is still there. I can tell you after visiting many clubs in Dublin that our district is still much, much, much better than D71, even though it is the oldest district here. But that's a story for another time. Elena asked me to share some secrets of success, as you put it, for area directors. And honestly, I don't know. When I was doing the area director, it was not like I knew what I was doing. As you go along, you learn new things. So what I will try to do is just share 3 important lessons that I felt contributed to success of my area, overall my term, and in my own learning, and that I feel will help you as well. So feel free to interrupt me if you have something, if you want to ask something. So the first one is having a vision. And I remember this conversation I had with my division director when we were in Athens. We were on the district conference. We were sitting, it was one of the after parties. We were sitting on the stairs, and she asked me then, so what is your plan for your area director term? And I just told her, hey, I have 6 clubs and I want to have 12 clubs by the end of the year. Now that was, I could see the face of shock on Olga's face. But I really thought I could do it because I saw a lot of potential that in Wrocław, we have a lot of companies and we can start a lot of corporate clubs, and I can work on that. The other goal that was actually also from district was to increase all the clubs must have 30 members. And that I also felt was a very strong goal for me to ensure that all the clubs in my area have 30 members. So what I did was, like on the very first club officer training, I had all the officers present and I told them, hey, I want all of you to have 30 members. And by that time, I had only 2 clubs that had 30 members. The others were below. And I explained to them why it is important, why we need to do this and all that. Plus, I also told them that I want to create more clubs, but since It's not the job of current clubs to create new clubs. This is not something I want them to do. It's just if they hear something that a club is needed in their company, just let me know. And that's how it started. So every time I would go to a club, I would talk to one of the members, one of the officers. I would try and share this again and again and again. And just focusing on that 30-member goal, by the end of the year, there were only 3 clubs that had more than 30 members. But I know that all the clubs tried to go to 30 members. So they knew why it is important. They knew what benefit they would get by having 30 members in their club. And they tried their best to achieve it. And we brainstormed a lot of ideas on how we could work together to do it. But it was very important that I kept sharing it. And the second goal that I had of creating 12 clubs, well, that didn't work out so well, in my own opinion. Even though I created 4 clubs in my area, but only one of them is a corporate club. So my original goal didn't fulfill. But on the other hand, just because I had said on that very first meeting that if you hear that somebody wants to start a club in their company or anywhere else, just let me know. As a result, few people came to me throughout the year simply to ask, Zen, I want to start this club. Here is my idea. Can you please help me? And then all I had to do was just guide them, and they did all the work, and they started all the clubs. I was only responsible for 1 club I started in Nokia in my own company. Every other club was started by someone else. All I did was just stand there and tell them, guide them, whatever help they needed. So it's very important to have the vision, make it a bit ambitious, don't make it easy. That's my opinion. If it is too easy, then you're gonna lose your motivation at some point. But don't make it too hard either. So don't make it completely unachievable. I really felt like 12 clubs is achievable. I really felt like 30 members per club is achievable. So that's the first thing. Find this vision right now, whatever it might be. It might be completely different for you. So define it for yourself, align it with your district mission for this year. The second thing, and this is about communication. So some of you know that I give a lot of speeches, and I got a lot of educational awards in last year as well. One of the reasons that I was able to do was because I was speaking in every club. As a officer, you have to go to, you have to visit the clubs. You have to do the club visits. What I suggest is just when you go, ask them, can I give a speech there? So in a lot of clubs, actually, they struggle to get speaking slots. They don't have enough speakers. So there's always a slot available, and they would be happy to give it to you. And in my area, I didn't even have English clubs. So most of my clubs were Polish speaking clubs, but I would ask them, can I give a speech in English? And they would still agree to that because they would at least get a good speaker that they wouldn't normally get. And in those 7 minutes that I had, I would talk about first the vision, but then something specific to that club, how I can help them, and just sharing my message. In the beginning, in the first visit, it was all about telling them that, hey, I'm here to support you. Whatever you need, just ask me. If you want to know how to get more members, if you want to know how to talk to guests, if you have issues with pathways and so on, just come to me and I will help you. Some of the times they asked me specifically to talk about pathways, so I did only that. So first few visits were about that, but then overall, on the longer term, I started to share more tips and tricks with them as well as I learned them from other clubs, bringing back to all the clubs. So speak, communicate. We all joined to improve our communication. Only after joining, we learned about the leadership path, and now we are following that. But we initially joined to communicate. So why wouldn't we communicate when we have such an opportunity? So just speak, go and give, talk to those clubs, not just the officers, to the clubs, whoever is present on that day. You wouldn't imagine how amazing conversations can come out of that. So just to give you an example, I was in Opole, which is the furthest club I had, and I just gave a speech, and I told them, there's very easy, we have reports, and you can actually see the history of the club. And I found out that their club used to have more than 30 members only like 1 year ago or 1.5 years ago. And then only in the last 2 renewal period, they went a bit down. So I just showed it to them. And then I asked, like, what do you think happened here? Maybe we can dig a bit deeper on the reasons and your history, and maybe that will give us an answer why we are not growing anymore and how we can get back on track. And right after during the break, one of the members came to me and he said, yes, you're right. You know, we lost a couple of senior members that were president at that time, and that probably contributed to it. But then that leads to a conversation that can lead to action, and that can lead to fulfilling the goals, which can help the club and the members. So communicate as much as possible. The second thing was that I was sending emails. So Facebook is one thing and you can create, but a lot of people don't read. But you as area director would have access to the whole roster for the whole area. And from time to time, I think in 1 year, I may have sent around 6 or 7 emails to the whole area. And those emails were just on updates. So if we were coming back from a division conference, then I would share who from our area won in the contest or placed in a contest, or who got the Triple Crowns, or if some club really achieved something, or there was a very amazing demo meeting, then I would just take bits and pieces from different clubs and just send it to everyone, so everyone knows what is going on in other clubs. And that also increased a bit of awareness that they're not alone, that there is a whole community around them, and if they need help, they can go there. The last point, and this I feel is the most important one. So as I mentioned, when I started, I had 6 clubs. I don't speak, I mean, I can speak a bit of Polish, but I cannot understand a whole meeting in Polish. And I had 1 German club. I had only 1 English club. That was my own club. They actually didn't need any help from me, honestly. They would prefer if I didn't come, because I was coming there anyway every week. But the other clubs, they didn't even know me. Only few people knew me because they were taking part in contests and we had met in the past. But most of the presidents didn't even know me. So when I would go there for the first time and I would tell them with my area director badge and the pin and, hey, I'm the area director, I want to do this, I want to do that, it wouldn't work. They don't know me at all, so why would they listen to me? And the clearest example of that is the weakest club we had. That was called First Million Toastmasters. Now it's called IT Speakers. And the very first meeting I went there was actually before my term started in June, because they had election and I wanted to see who will be the new president. So I just went there and I didn't do anything. I just sat there in the background. At the end of the meeting, I just introduced myself to the president and said, yeah, I'm going to start my term in the next year. I see that you have a lot of issues with the membership. Please feel free to come to me. Well, nothing happened. He didn't contact me. 3 months passed. They didn't have any meetings. They took a break for the summer because they didn't have enough members. They came back in September. I went again to their first meeting. And again, I didn't do anything. I just sat there, just listened to it, whatever was going on. And at the end of the meeting, I went there and asked again the officers, the president and the VP, how can I help you? What is going on? And this time they started to share a bit more. Then few more meetings like this. And then finally they said, can you be our club coach? Because we really need help. And from there on, I had a much closer relationship with them, because finally I had been able to build the trust. And you know what? In a Polish speaking club, I couldn't contribute. I couldn't give a general evaluator report. I couldn't really evaluate even the quality of the meeting. I needed someone else to do it for me. And I would take someone else from other club to help me with that. But I couldn't really contribute myself in a way that I would do in an English speaking club, for example. But by the fact, just simply the fact that I was coming still to their club and sitting in the back, doing absolutely nothing, sometimes helping with the room arrangement or, you know, printing of the stuff. They would sometimes ask me, can I print the agendas for them? And I would use Nokia's printers to do it for free. That's all I did. And over the time, the club started to grow. And by the time when I was leaving Wrocław, the current president and a couple of other officers, they came to me and they said, thanks for giving such a huge support, because if it were not for you coming and just telling us that you're available, we wouldn't have the courage to actually take those bold steps that they had to take to rebuild the club. So the relationships are very important. And this is just one example, but I had to do it with all the clubs. And it takes time. I think first few months is very hard to actually talk. So you cannot demand anything until you have built a relationship. But once you are, you know, they're a part of your team, they feel like a part of your team, then you can discuss the goals and everything. And that takes time. So that takes patience. My way of doing that was just simply visiting the club. And after every visit, I would talk to the officer. So I personally feel 2 visits in 1 year are simply not enough. I don't know who decided to do it in this way. I feel it's not enough. The minimum, in my opinion, should be 4 visits. 1 in July or August, so beginning of the term. 2nd in October, just after the renewal, that is the most critical point, because clubs lose 1/3, half of their membership. You need to be there to support them. The second one in January, February, because again, the start of the year, and then again in April, because again, that's the critical point where the clubs are the most weakest. And you need to be there standing beside them, telling them, hey, I'm here and we will work on it, whatever happens. Or congratulate them if the retention was amazing, because I had a couple of clubs like that. So just be there as much as possible, build those relationships, and then once you have them, you can really work together to achieve your goals, the club's goals, members' goals, and everything that goes with it. So those are the three things that I wanted to share that I learned throughout the whole year that I feel contributed to the success of not just me. I think it was a teamwork. So the whole area worked really, really hard. There were a lot of people that did amazing work, and that contributed to having an amazing year. But it was only because we built relationship and we worked together. If you want to know more, if you want to talk, if you have question about how I did the officer training or how I organized the club visits, anything you want to know, feel free to contact me. You can write me email. You can find me on Facebook or LinkedIn or whatever, and just we can have a chat anytime. Thank you.
Thank you, Zen, for joining us and for still being with us, with our district, even if you're not here physically, but we feel your support. Thank you very much. I just love how you share your golden nuggets in form of your personal stories. This is amazing. It is so inspiring how you build relationships with your clubs, and we should. This is something we should all learn from you. Yes, so to put people first, not goals and DCP points and everything, but just to build relationships with people. Come to those meetings, meet them, talk to them. This is amazing, amazing stuff.
Can I add one small
thing? Sure.
I think one of the important things as area director is that you are the link between the clubs and the rest of the districts. So especially the top trio, they will from time to time, or your division director will ask you like, how are things going in the clubs, because they cannot visit every club, only you can. So it's important to share that information with them. And one example, and here I would thank Elena, because I really wanted someone from the top leadership to come to this week club, because they were really struggling and all they needed was motivation. So they had all the skill, they could do everything themselves. They lacked confidence. And Elena, I asked her, and she came specifically to visit the club. She did the Moments of Truth with them, which led to a lot of different ideas for them. And they did implement a lot of them afterwards. And that really helped the club, and they were very thankful. So at some point, if you feel like, Elena or Gabriela or Adriana or anyone from the district leadership could help you, just ask them, maybe it is possible to visit even the club. So I think that was very good. And I would like to thank Elena for coming there as well to Wrocław.
Yeah, thank you. Unfortunately, today Dovile could not join us. We were supposed to talk about Moments of Truth a little bit as well, but we will talk about it during our DEC next meeting. Moments of Truth is really a great tool. It works every time. So this is something also one of the top priorities in the beginning of the year for all clubs, to do Moments of Truth, to see the weak points and what they should work on in the future. So now we have time for questions. If we have any questions, we are here to answer them about all the presentations we heard today.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
It's Anna from Warsaw. I have a question related to actually awards which you have mentioned about. And my question is related about this notification, how we can notify it in the system, if this is possible, all those new awards which you mentioned during the training.
Those are district awards, so they will not be officially in the system, but only those membership awards can be in the system on Toastmasters org web page, because this is something which is done on the top in the Toastmasters Central office. So they will be, we will announce them during our district conference, we will announce them during our division conferences, but they will not be officially in the system.
Okay, so they are, I mean, the clubs should actually inform me that they actually, let's say, gain them, and then I should pass it to you, and then it will be announced somehow.
We will monitor the awards. So we will see which clubs achieved what, and we will announce it.
Okay, so my concern is how it will be somehow recorded, or how we can follow up what I should actually communicate to my clubs.
Those awards will be for sure announced on our social media. They will be announced during special events, so during division conferences and district conference. And what should be communicated to the clubs is just that such awards exist, and that they motivate them to achieve, it is impossible to achieve all the awards, but each club needs to focus on one area where they need improvement, for example, and we might suggest as area directors, if we see that retention is not very good in the club, we might suggest them to go for this award, for example.
Okay, thank you very much. And I have also one more question related to actually online training. It's like a general question, because actually I was asked if it is possible, for instance, to record some training and then pass it to people who couldn't actually join when it comes to, let's say, scheduled time. And I'm just wondering, what are your experiences, and if it is possible at all?
We have, yes, we have some club officers training, online club officers training planned. Maybe some of our division directors could relay it and answer this question. Alicia or Monica?
Okay, so about online trainings, it depends on every division, as I know, because in general, in the Toastmasters international procedures, there is a rule that all club officers has to be trained offline, like personally, not online trainings. So it's only up to us to organize extra trainings or online trainings, like you said, recorded and then put it on in internet. It's not effective, I think, but it's always better do this than not any other knowledge shared. So it's my opinion. I don't know if others are...
I remember that Ture said that online training need to be a live training, and recorded training is not treated as being trained.
Yes,
so just recorded training are not recognized by Toastmaster as being trained. So even though that's why we will organize the online training in August. So if there will be some people who left, we'll organize a special online training together with all the division and director.
Yeah, but it must be division director and area director there to check the agenda and to check if everyone is involved in the trainings, because it's the most important thing, to be involved.
Yes, for sure. We need we can organize online trainings. We just need to check if people are really involved, if they don't just turn on their computer and are not there. So we should just find a way to maybe some group discussions, or and of course those online trainings need to have the same quality as face-to-face trainings. So all the topics should be covered. Yeah.
I have one sentence about it, because during the EFFECT conference in August in Rzeszów, we plan some advanced workshop about two advanced Toastmasters to exchange our experience as a club officers, but it won't be some kind of COT training. It's like some advanced panel to make our clubs better. So I think we can record it. My area directors won't record their trainings, but as a last year practice, I think we in this year we could organize some online trainings, but recording, I agree with Alicia and Staszek, isn't available, and people don't want to watch recording video. But if we'll organize something online, we can publish this information and invite you to join to our trainings.
Yes, I suggest that if we organize for all division directors, when we organize club officers trainings, to share it with everyone on our Facebook group chat, so that anyone can join if they want to.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thank you very much for explanation.
Thank you. We have also a comment from Krzysztof about Pathways, that it's a challenge. Yes, it is. Pathways is a real challenge for some clubs. If we check the awards, DCP points from the last year, we can see that in some areas Pathways are going really well, and people are having awards, and in some areas we have no awards from Pathways. So this is what we need somehow to introduce together with our teams, with the club officers, club presidents and VPs, discuss in what ways we can enhance this. How can we do this? Because if we don't do it, then in 1 year members will not be able to participate in meetings, and it will be challenging for them. As to the meeting quality, this is a very good point. That we should aim for good increasing meeting quality, and Moments of Truth is the tool which really can help, because if we do Moments of Truth with the club, with all members of the club, it can be a part of our area visit. It can be just delegated to club president or VP, and club members themselves find out for what they can do to make this quality better. Then it really starts working. So if we don't just tell them what to do, but they themselves come up with the solutions, then really great things happen, and clubs get so much quality. So do we have any more comments, questions?
Elena, I have a question.
Okay.
I have a question, to be specific, 2 questions about communication, because it was very important for me after Zain presentation. First question is that Zain has mentioned about this clubs rosters availability, and are you able to explain how to find this roster, because I was not able to reach it. And the second question is about massive communication possibilities. Being a club president, being a club officer, I had possibility in EasySpeak to contact specific officer roles. Is it possible to contact automatically with all club presidents or all VPEs from my clubs?
Mm-hmm. As to club roster, it is available in our dashboards. So if we go to our webpage, Toastmasters.org, or dashboards, Toastmasters.org, we will find the information about membership and about all DCP points of our clubs. And I'm sure that also if we have any problems with dashboards, then division directors can support us, because this is always the struggle of the beginning of the term, to get to know the system, how to see different reports, and it is all there. We just need to know where to click. And as to contacting with the clubs, I don't know. Also, maybe some of our division directors can share their how did you do it?
I just create, as we have already chat, and it was area A5 chat with president director when I sent it. I also have just find out, ask them for the emails, and if I have some special information to send, I just send them email. But it was all manual, and as far as I know, there is nothing like this that you can do it to all people at once. But you do it once and you already do it for the whole term. So it should not be a problem.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah,
any other tips?
Yeah, my experience is to have phone calls with presidents of the clubs, just to listen, ask and listen. So it's very important that they feel that they have support. And if sometimes even you can help them to rise the membership of the clubs, because it's not possible in somehow, but you must make them feel that you are there. So what Zain said, it's really good. I know it after 1 year of of my area director role.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you for that. I have also a question. It's Ella speaking, and you might see me. I guess also who is speaking.
See you. But very nice headphones.
Thank you. Yes, and a bit of books, flowers, and such stuff. I just realized that I should have rather the wall after me, but it's a tip for the next call, I guess. I wanted to ask a bit more about your experiences according to the visits, these official visits with reports to the club. I could see that it's good to prepare and, of course, check some details on the website, on the Facebook group or Facebook page if the club has it. And then the report, I also got the information that it's good to send it before the meeting. I'm just wondering, how are your experiences after the meeting, when there was a meeting with at least the president and VP and VPM? How big part of this report was created also based on this conversation, or you're rather focusing on your observation and the knowledge that you got from some kind of different sources?
Yeah, I can say that there are some sessions, 6 sessions, I think, that one of them you feel by yourself, your feelings, and another one with after conversation, and you need to talk with club board. Without that, the report is not useful, I think. And also, what I did, I did the speech after my visits, and I share my observation to the club. Of course, I put like feedback, our normal feedback. So first the description, good one, some points to challenge. And at the end, it was my also my good impression, and also I sent it to all of the members of the club, my report. Okay. with my short description, with my short my short point of view.
Alicia, but you were saying about it at the same meeting or after preparing the whole report?
After one. Yeah.
Okay.
Monica said that it's good to be prepared on the meeting, on the visit, to make the presentation. I suggested that it's good to present the presentation from leadership series based on the needs of the club boards of every club. That it's what you can't do on the club officer trainings. So individual needs, and you do the presentation on your club visit, and after the visit I prepare another speech and email to all of the members of the club, because you have all emails in the dashboard in your system, but not now. You have to wait till 26th of July to get the emails and use them, because you have phone numbers and you have emails to all of the club officers and to the members of your clubs. So I suggest to use it.
Great, thank you for this.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any more questions?
I want to share one story about club visit, because I did something wrong at the beginning, being area director, because I prepared my report and not consult with president and VP and VPM, and submit it into Toastmasters.org, and some clubs were angry because there is some problems which they don't agree with me, and my report doesn't support them. So prepare the report during area council meeting, even with personal meeting, but not surprise them.
Okay, thank you very much for your questions, comments. We're running out of time, so let's move all our conversations, questions and answers to our Facebook group. So we had our first training in Wrocław. Today we discussed the main issues we will face as area directors, and this meeting was recorded, so you will be able to see the recording once again if you missed some parts, or if you want to hear them once again. We will share this with those who could not attend the training. And I have a message for you from our administration manager, Heikki. He sent to our Facebook group GDPR consent, so please sign this, or to our emails. You might have it in your spam, so please check if you got it, or if you did not get it, it should be in your spam, and you should send this consent. And then our next meeting will be in Kaunas. It will be face-to-face meeting, so we'll get to know each other better. We will spend 2 days together in Kaunas on 14th and 15th of September. I hope that everyone will be there. But till now, we have 2 months before Kaunas. Let's ask questions and share our knowledge, experience on Facebook group we created together. And thank you very much for attending today's training. It was thank you very much to all the trainers and presenters today for sharing your knowledge. And see you in 2 months in Kaunas. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you, bye.
Thank you, bye, and see you next time.